To my channel, All Things Militia, where I discuss a lot about what's going on in the political world and also topics that pertain to everyday life. Want to come on here first and acknowledge my subscribers. As always, I appreciate you guys. If you see a video that you like, don't forget to give your girl a thumbs up. Leave your comment down below so that I can get your thoughts on what I'm discussing. Share the video, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. You can do all those things, and don't forget to subscribe. So I'm coming on here real quick tonight, you guys, to discuss what everyone has been talking about in the media regarding the late night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel, who made a statement a few days prior to this latest assassination attempt on President Trump's life. Let's go ahead and get into it.
A joke that did not age well has led to another battle between President Trump and late-night TV host Jimmy Kimmel. In a parody of a White House Correspondents Association dinner last week, Kimmel described First Lady Melania Trump as having the glow of an expectant widow.
First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
So after he made that statement, you guys, the internet went into a frenzy, because to make a statement like that is just sick. It's not even a joke. So you had First Lady Melania that I guess was the first to catch on to it. This happened like a couple of days reportedly before the White House correspondent assassination attempt. And so after that incident occurred, then you have the First Lady, President Trump, along with many others that are calling for Jimmy Kimmel's show to be removed or for him to be fired. So this is a statement that the First Lady made. Kimmel's hateful and violent rhetoric is intended to divide our country. His monologue about my family isn't comedy. His words are corrosive and deepens the political sickness within America. People like Kimmel shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes each evening to spread hate. A coward, Kimmel hides behind ABC because he knows the network will keep running cover for him. Enough is enough. It is time for ABC to take a stand. How many times will ABC's leadership enable Kimmel's atrocious behavior at the expense of our community? Because these shows are taxpayer funded for number one. And it's just interesting that, you know, this guy has, and the left consistently have spewed a lot of negative, violent rhetoric over the years. Ever since Trump announced he was going to run for office, it has been non-stop negative media coverage, inciting people to think that it's okay for them to, want President Trump to be assassinated. Even after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, you had people on social media on the left dancing, celebrating. And then people, became outraged and started reporting those people, and they started losing their jobs. And they want to say, oh, well, it was free speech. No, free speech does not include inciting violence. But it's just interesting, Jimmy Kimmel, he loves to talk about Trump day in and day out, make his little whatever you want to call it, because he's not funny. It's not even a joke. But then he have the likes of people like this person who's corrupt to the core on his show, and don't even bother to ask him about the laptop from hell or about his quid pro quo confession that he made on video or any other thing that pertains to his horrible presidency. But here's Joe Biden on his show talking about gun control.
I don't want to do, and I'm not being facetious, I don't want to emulate Trump's abuse of the Constitution and the constitutional authority. And so, I mean that sincerely, because I often get asked, look, the Republicans don't play it square. Why do you play it square?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? If we do the same thing they do, our democracy will literally be in jeopardy.
Really? So you don't want to emulate Trump's abuse of the Constitution, but weren't you the president that mandated a new vaccine? Didn't that come under your administration? You mandated a new vaccine upon the public and told us that if we couldn't get it, we could not work meanwhile left the border wide open, allowing millions of illegal immigrants to flood into the country and did not require them to be vaccinated. Wasn't that under his administration? Isn't that a violation of our constitutional right to impose medical procedures on the public? Also, was coming after free speech. You had big tech that confessed, Mark Zuckerberg confessed that the Biden administration pretty much told them to censor people on the right when it pertained to the 2020 election being, now that we know, stolen, coming out to say that they witnessed fraud, and also was having people censored regarding the COVID pandemic. So he targeted the freedom of speech, okay, also targeted our body, our choice rights, and then also came for our Second Amendment rights. But you said you didn't want to come after, violate the Constitution. These people are straight up, I don't even know what to call it anymore. Okay, let's go on to this. This is Jimmy Kimmel hosting him. Like I said, never question him about his son, never question him about his the things that he did as president. But love to keep Trump in the media day in and day out for the negative. And this is Jimmy Kimmel when he was talking about the now late Charlie Kirk.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from.
Here's everything you need to know about the off-key monologue that got Jimmy Kimmel's show pulled indefinitely. The controversy began during Monday's show when the late-night comic started off by claiming that MAGA was using Charlie Kirk's assassination to score political points. But Kimmel did.
And first of all, MAGA did not need an assassination to score political points, because if you look at the election map of 2024, you can see that it was pretty much a red sea. So if anyone was behind on points and scoring, it was the Liberal Party, because the American people proved by the election of 2024 that they were done with the left. So I don't know what he means when he says that we needed an assassination to score political points. And moving on, this is Hillary Clinton after his show was terminated indefinitely after making that remark. You have the likes of this corrupt politician, establishment politician, that came on and tried to defend him and made these statements.
It is a direct government action to try to intimidate employers, organizations, corporations, much of which we've already seen, to remove an opponent, even though it's a comic. Look, I had no idea.
Did she say that what did she say, remove an opponent? Because we know that that's what they, went hard for trying to do when it came to President Trump, trying to keep him out of office. Wasn't she the woman that was behind that Steele dossier, that Russia collusion hoax, that tried to frame President Trump saying he colluded with Russia in order to win the 2016 election? Wasn't she behind that? And then when they found out that that was false, the media went crickets. And has she ever been charged for that? Has she ever been charged for her 33,000 emails that she deleted after receiving a U.S. Congress subpoena? Has she ever been charged for that? Has she ever been charged for leaving the service members in Benghazi to die? Why did we spend reportedly $48 million on her daughter Chelsea Clinton's wedding? I mean, these people have had their hands in so much corruption, and they defend corruption. Corruption defends corruption. That's why she's on here now, back then, trying to defend Jimmy Kimmel.
And I was in public life and listening to the jokes that were made about me and the attacks that were, coming from people like Jimmy Kimmel and others, that I could have called up the head of the FCC and said, take them off the air. I don't like what they're saying.
Really, Hillary? Did not you do that, though? Didn't you have something to say about people that you don't like what they're saying?
We should be, in my view, repealing something called Section 230, which gave, platforms on the internet immunity because they were thought to be just pass-throughs, that they shouldn't be judged for the content that is posted. But we now know that that was an overly simple view, that if the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are,
ABC
if
News,
they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm.
So she was a part of content creators being, pretty much censored as well, because during that time they disabled, under his administration, they disabled the dislike button on YouTube. Okay, she also was on the record saying that content creators should be civilly and even criminally charged for giving misinformation, although she was behind, like I said, that Russia collusion conspiracy trying to frame President Trump. But what is she talking about when she says that we would lose total control if social media companies do not moderate content on their platforms? That lets you know that the mainstream media is bought and paid for, and these people's whole goal is to control the minds of the masses, not to give the news, not to report it as it is, who, what, when, where, why, how, not being biased, but reporting the facts. Their whole goal is total control. And this is coming from Hillary Clinton. We will lose total control if social media companies do not moderate content on their platform. The same woman that defended Jimmy Kimmel after he made that ridiculous statement regarding our First Lady. So these people are all in bed together, you guys. A whole bunch of crooks, a corrupt establishment of crooks is what I call them. And hopefully we'll see some form of justice here soon, because enough is enough. That's my take on it. Let me know yours in the comment section, and I'll see you later.